hide yours from screen, and then we'll go live.
Sounds good. Are you familiar with the song that I put there? Did you?
I'm not actually.
Ah, okay, cool.
There we go. Finally, we're here. Sorry for the delay. It won't be a stream without the occasional tech issues.
Of course.
Welcome to Hear Me Out, the show about video game music that I do together with my good friend Nvidia GeForce, all the way from Canada.
Yeah, and here's the proof that I'm from Canada. Currently drinking some Tim Hortons coffee. So yeah,
classic
morning,
Canadian. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. I had an awesome sleeping night. It might have helped that I drank, a few drinks yesterday evening. But other than that, yeah, feeling super well. I was scared that my voice was going to be bad today, but it looks like it's not too bad. So ready for today. Very exciting. Really like this piece of the month, where we do Hear Me Out and we get to learn some
so much fun.
more songs. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and my wife came with a suggestion that we should do a nostalgia themed episode, and I figured that was a great idea. So let's do that. Yeah, we've both brought some songs that are classic nostalgia pieces for us. But before we do get into that, I just want to mention that this stream is it is a part, normal episode of Hear Me Out, but it's also a part of the Gaming for Mental Health charity event that we're running. You've been streaming during this event. I've been streaming. I'm going to do another stream later tonight as well. So in the description, you will find two links: one to my fundraiser and one to Ninja's fundraiser. So if you're able, please do donate to one of those, or both if you want to. They support great mental health charities, one in Canada and one here in Sweden. And if you donate to either of them, you are automatically entered into our donors only giveaways that we're running. And we could also run a giveaway, as part of this as well.
So many keys, right? I haven't used about 3 of my keys, so yeah, definitely. If we have some people, maybe 3 giveaways today during this stream.
Exactly.
Okay with
that. And also drop suggestions in chat for songs that we should listen to, and maybe we can do one of those as well. But first of all, let's go into the first song, and so set us up. How would you describe this? Why is this your nostalgia choice?
All right. So yeah, today the team that we have. Oh, I don't want to start that yet. The team that we have is nostalgia, peace, and this song is actually my favorite song of all time. It's the song that I've listened to the most, and it's just very special to me. I actually have 2 favorite song of all time, but this one was longer, so I decided, that's the one I'm going to put.
Clever.
But yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Donkey Kong has a special place in my heart. The composer is David Wise. David Wise is very well known into the video game composition. How can I say that? Like just people who listen to video game music, they know David Wise because he's very exceptional at what he does. He's done Donkey Kong. He's done Battletoads, which is his 2 most popular composition. And then he collaborated with Grant Kirkhope to do Yooka-Laylee.
Yeah. Cool.
Are you familiar with Grant Kirkhope?
Yeah. Nice. I follow him on Twitter even.
Oh, very nice.
I think it was by a suggestion of Austin Wintry, who was everyone should. He's so much fun on Twitter. I was like, I'll follow that. Fun composer rather than Austin, sure.
So, Grant Kirkhope and David Wise has always been super close together. Like throughout the Nintendo and throughout their composition career, they've always talked to each other and all of that. So it's pretty cool that they've finally did something together with Yooka-Laylee and Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Layers. But he also did some, still some solo work. Snake Pass is another one that he's done alone. And it's just the kind of composer that I can recognize right away that he's the one who composed it because his music is very unique. It's, he's amazing. So Donkey Kong, it's there. It's probably a game, that it's the type of game that I really like to speedrun. I'm actually actively speedrunning a game right now called Windswept, and it's very similar to Donkey Kong. But anyway, so the music has always been super unique for me, and always really enjoyed it. And as a, at the time, the best composers were always like from Japan, and Nobuo Uematsu and all of these Japanese
there were some classics
composers.
there.
Yeah, they were just super good. But this one here is, I think he's from America or UK. I'm not exactly sure, but he just stood out from all of these composers, right? So it was pretty crazy. Donkey Kong Country 2 has some of the best music. I think everybody's, when they listen to the soundtracks, they'll always pick a song from Donkey Kong Country 2. The reason why I picked Sticker Brush Symphony is actually the one, like I mentioned, is the one that I listen to the most. And it's for me, it's just a magical song for me. I don't know why. When I listen to it, especially, during winter time, actually, it's a very, it's hard to explain. I'm just going to say that like it's a magical song. So the time that I listened to this song the most was when I was in university. I had to walk about 3 kilometers, to get to the university. And whenever there was like a big winter storm, I would listen to this song, and it was so like mesmerizing, just, walking in that big snowstorm and just listening to that music. For me, it was just a very good nostalgic moment in my life. So this is why this is the one that I've picked on my end.
Yeah.
So without further ado,
I haven't heard of it. Like I have seen, like unless it's been part of like Super Smash, I've never heard of it. Probably never heard of this song before.
It is in Super Smash 3DS and Wii U version. There's a version.
I haven't played that one.
Okay. And
so then I've not heard of this before. Which would be fun.
And Tropical Freeze has like a remix of it also. So the last Donkey Kong that came out. Okay. So, but yeah, without further ado, let me show you Sticker Brush Symphony. I'll put the volume a little bit higher here. There you go.
Like some really nice melodies.
Yeah, right. It's and it picks up a little bit later. You'll see what I mean. Not too much, but a little bit. Right there.
Nice.
Yeah, the little drums there. I love it.
Nice chiptune bass going on as well.
Yeah.
You're a big fan of basses.
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy that they say that. I have a lot of bass songs that I like. It's not the typical song that you'd hear on a Super Nintendo game, right? So it's very unique. And funny enough, the other song that I really like is very similar to that one.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds very much like it managed to be calm and soothing, yet slightly up tempo.
Yeah. Exactly, and there's a reason for that, and I'm gonna explain it after the song. Here we go, the second loop, of course. I actually made a song about 15 years ago that was inspired by this one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You should dig that one up.
Yeah, you think so? Let me try to get that. And we'll show it after yours, if we have time. I have
And
it.
also SPG and Chili Hunter, thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Nice. And that was my song, guys. So Donkey Kong, it's it's not this type of music that you'd expect. Like Donkey
Yeah,
Kong
no.
usually like more like I don't know, more upbeat and stuff like that. And the thing is, what happened is that these levels that there are, like, you basically have to jump into barrels, and it's a real, like, it's one of the hardest stage of the game. And so the developers, they asked David, it says, you got to do like a very calming type of song so people don't get frustrated while they do that stage. So that's what
Well,
he came
he
up with.
succeeded. No, yeah. That was just because I haven't
Yeah.
been streaming too much and sleeping too little.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I guess you gotta say he succeeded, and like it's a soothing song while also, like, keep feeling like, the feeling like the tempo that you maybe like. It doesn't feel slow for Donkey Kong, but at the same time it's like relaxing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I really enjoy that, and I
Yeah.
should probably play some Donkey Kong at some point.
Definitely. Hey, we should play together. It's 2 players, right? So
Oh
we
yeah, that
should do
would be
that.
cool.
That would be amazing.
Let's figure, we should figure out how to do that sometime and pull it
Yeah,
off for
definitely.
sure. No, but yeah, it was. It's like also like the style of chip tunes that I really enjoy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
It's
there's a lot of chip tunes that is just like
it
too
feels the same,
much.
right? Yeah, or
Yeah,
too
it's
much.
either
Yeah,
too much or it becomes too much of the same. But this is like, yeah. I mean, this manages to be both like interesting to listen to, but also have that a lot of that. Like, I
yeah.
felt a bit nostalgic to it, and I've never played the game and heard the song before. So yeah,
That's
no,
amazing.
definitely good, definitely a good pick.
That's cool. Yeah. So, and David Wise is definitely a sound engineering also, because they have to like figure out how to make these sounds, right? During the Super Nintendo
Yeah,
era,
yeah,
they didn't have like the tools, so they had to like actually create these sounds themselves. So some pretty amazing sound in there, compared to other songs also.
yeah. No,
Cool.
that was cool.
So
Um,
let me share my screen again and let me
yeah,
put your
let me
song
bring
in.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll intro mine then. So I basically went with a song that's. I mean, the link is for the whole album, but we'll go with the main theme, because it was easier that way. No, but it's a song that, for me, is very much. I mean, it's very much the like middle school for me. Like, pretty much every day in middle school, I would go to a friend's house. We would play some Heroes of Might and Magic 3, and then as we were, when we were, after a few hours, we had to go outside, and then we came back in, and then, we ate
Wait
dinner,
some
or
more.
he ate dinner, and I went home, or I stayed over and ate dinner at their place, and then maybe we could play a bit more afterwards. So like we played a lot of Heroes of Might and Magic, pretty much every day for several years.
Wow.
So yeah, here's some Mathematic 3 was our go to after school for at least 2 years. So this main theme, like every time you launched the game, you heard this music, and I've heard it so many times that if I was sick of it, I would totally understand it. But I'm not. Like, I every time I hear it, I just feel happiness. So
Oh, wow.
so yeah.
Um, as a teenager, I did play Heroes of Might and Magic 3. It's the only Heroes of Might and Magic that I've played, actually.
Oh
I've played
really?
a
I mean,
few
it is the best
hours.
one. So
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I could play again. I need to play again. It's been a while.
Yeah, we should do a multiplayer of that as well then.
There you go. Yeah, we should do like a
Yeah, we
a
can do the
double
HD edition
feature.
because that has I think that even has online
Cool.
multiplayer.
Very nice. Yeah, I used to play at my cousin's place, and then one of my professor, my math professor, actually had was playing the game during school time while we were doing tests and stuff like that. He would just like play in the back and wait for
Yeah,
us
I
to
mean,
finish the test. That was funny.
why not? It's a turn-based game. You can easily look up, go walk away, and then come back like an hour later, and it's still just nothing has happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Really easy.
and I actually I had played a little bit with my son a while back.
Oh wow.
Mainly like I wanted to see if like try to introduce him to the style of gaming, like PC gaming, because he's been just gaming on consoles, and also like the idea of like strategy games. And also, I just really, but most of all, I just wanted to see how it like. I love the game. I wanted to see if it holds up for new generation. And
Yeah.
he enjoyed it, and like it was. So yeah, I think it's a game that holds up, and music wise, it's very like I think it's a very early orchestral score for video games. But I mean, it's not nowhere near the first, but still, it's early days. But they went all in.
It's gonna be interesting because I don't remember the music, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. All right, let me give this a try. Let's go. Let's press play here. Oh yeah, they really took the old school RPG type of music in there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, the harp,
Yeah.
or whatever it is, harpish instrument.
Ah,
Like
nice
a
and
full orchestral.
yeah, the mysterious notes also. That's awesome.
Like this is like setting up the game, finding your save and loading it up, or creating a new game. It's like doing the setup for that,
Nice.
loading screen, and then as soon as somewhere around here would usually finish loading, and you would hear it anymore. You would go through it. So like the castle theme or the rampart theme. I usually played castle or rampart, the elves and dwarf theme or the human theme. A friend of mine usually went for necromancers. Because he did like having a horde of skeletons. I think his record was having so much skeletons that the game just went like 9999 and he didn't do anything else.
Wow.
It was like kill anything.
That's crazy. Oh man, that was so. You know what? Let's listen to the second one because that was too.
Yeah.
That was long enough. So when was this game out? Did it came out in the 90s or the early 2000s? I can't remember.
It came out 1999.
Okay.
And it's composed by Paul Romero, Rob King, and Steve Baca.
Oh wow. What other things did he compose?
It was actually it was developed by New World Computing, but then and published by 3DO. But I know that the Ubisoft actually did the publishing in a lot of countries. So technically, this is a Ubisoft game, and I think that's kind of how they managed to buy the license after when 3DO went bankrupt.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's a really fun. So I'm guessing that's how Ubisoft got their hands on it, and then kept going for up until Magic 7. Here's Magic 7 was the last one. Came out a couple of years ago, but I don't think they have made much with the IP since, except for semi bad or bad free to play games for mobile.
Yeah,
it's. So I'm still holding out for an 8th one.
Okay, nice.
They did. They did remaster the old one, so.
At least, yeah, and it's all on Ubisoft Plus. So if anybody's subscribed, you definitely have to give that a try. Yeah, I remember trying Heroes of Might and Magic 4, and it didn't do it for me. Like it's just so different, right?
So 4 was very different, and I did not like 4 at all.
No, me neither.
A friend of mine got 4. We played a bit, but it was like, it's good. It's okay, but 3 is so much better. 5 was very good.
Okay. Cool.
And then 6 was decent, and then 7 seems to be like in the middle, right? Like a mix of 3 and 5 that kind of works. So, so yeah. I know a lot of people. The other people I've heard that don't like Heroes of Mathematic 3, they don't call the 3 the best. They call the number 2 the best.
Oh, wow! Well, yeah,
that's 2 or 3, but it seems to be like a split,
okay.
50-50 split-ish in the fan base. So like, is 2 or 3 the best, and then after that, it's like
interesting.
5 is decent.
It's very similar to Civilization. Civilization 3, like it was like the best of the best, right? and then 4 came out and people didn't like it as much. It's
and then 5 came out, people love 5. 6 comes out and it's people like it's 50-50 or more, right? Like I mean 6 is really good, or 6 isn't the same as 5. I prefer 5.
It's definitely something that I listen the whole thing while programming or something. It's very like it's not a super crazy soundtrack, right? It's a good thing to put in the background while you work.
And like the combat music that kicks in now, like with the drums, it's like
exactly.
So it's a really versatile soundtrack, and obviously they have like all of the themes of the game too, and need a theme for each one of them. So I really enjoy, like, the music holds up well, the game holds up well. But that main theme, like that intro music, and I've heard it so many times.
Exactly. Maybe I'll get it'll be the same for me now, because it's real. It feels very much nostalgic, like you said. Like even though I don't remember listening to it, it just feels like a nostalgic piece for sure. It's awesome. Cool. Well, I'm gonna stop it here. So the song that I did, it's actually in MIDI file, so I don't think that I can actually share it today on this stream.
Too bad.
But maybe next stream I'll upload it on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
and then we can
let's do that.
We can share
I'd love to hear that. That sounds fun.
Is there if there's anyone in the chat who would like to share a song that they would like us to listen to, feel free to do so. But since we have a little bit of time, Bjorn, maybe we can show each other like one more song, if you're okay with that.
Sure. I did have another one that I was choosing in between, and I think you did as well. So let's do that.
Yeah, let me go ahead and share my other nostalgic piece that I have for that I said I was similar to this one. So let me just bring it up here, and we'll go with that. It's called Corridors of Time. I don't know if anyone will guess from what game this is from, but it's from a very popular game on Super Nintendo. Wasn't too popular back then, but it rise in popularity later on. So let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and
and guys, people, put your suggestions in chat as well.
Yep, for sure. We'd love to hear. Like, it happened a few times where people suggested some songs and they were so good. We heard God of War. We've heard
Death Stranding.
Yeah, these were so good. So definitely, if you have anything for us, put it in.
Yeah.
So yes, as you can see, it's Chrono Trigger, of course. If you don't know this game, then you need to go back in the 90s and study your 90s games.
I've actually heard, like, it was one of the favorite tracks of mine. One of, like, I don't know which track it was, but one track from Chrono Trigger was on the when I saw Play a Video Game Symphony. They did a piece of Chrono Trigger, and that's I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. So I haven't actually played the game other than like the first hour on through an emulator at some point, but. I've heard one track from the music a lot of times in a symphonic arrangement.
I know exactly which one it is. It's like it's like the theme of Chrono Trigger, basically. I think, but it's a really good song. Yeah, it's really good. If you're in the mood to play a JRPG, but you want to play a short one, Chrono Trigger is actually somewhat short for a JRPG, so it's definitely one to go into if you don't have a lot of time. There is multiple endings, so that's what's make it a little bit longer, but if you only want to do like the first ending, then it's not too bad at all. But yeah, so what happened is that, again, this game is a JRPG, right? It has a lot of upbeat songs, pretty cool songs. But this one time, in the game, you randomly jump into a magical world, just like that. And this song comes in, and I was just so mesmerized. But this song was crazy, and it's the same thing. So at the university during big storms, I would just put this song and the Donkey Kong song on repeat, and just keep listening to them. It's not a lot of people's favorite song. I don't even know if it's anyone's favorite song. I think Scala Stem is people's they like Scala Stem a little bit more than this one, even though they're very similar to each other. But for me, Corridors of Time is my favorite. And it is by Yasunari Mitsuda, which is the same composer from the first song that we listened to in their first episode of Hear Me Out. So fun. You might see some similarities here.
Nice callback.
Yeah, it's actually his first composition It was his first time, so he was it was kind of like begging Square Enix to make this soundtrack, and he got approved. And he overworked himself, and he got really sick. Like I think he got ulcers and stuff like that. So he had to take the composer from Final Fantasy to finish some of the tracks, which was it's a pretty interesting story. But I'll leave it there for anyone who's interested to learn more about it. But yeah, without further ado, Corridors of Time by Chrono Trigger. It's stereo also, by the way. It goes on both headphones.
Yeah.
It's very trippy.
Yeah, it's like
sitar there.
Yeah, like almost like influences.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. You can know right away when there's like when it's mono, because you're missing part of the songs in one of the ear when when they don't do it properly.
Oh yeah, great
these are like vocals, kind of like they're trying to like simulate vocals, which is funny.
Yeah, this is like classic synthworks vocals from the Battle.
Yeah, they did the best that they could with what they had.
I think my favorite JRPG of all time, Golden Sun, has a lot of those.
Nice. What song is it? What game is it?
Golden Sun.
Golden Sun. Oh man, yeah. By Motoi Sakuraba.
Yeah, I hope we at some point get a Golden Sun 4, but
yeah.
I've been hoping that for years now, and it's been a while.
It's unfortunate that the third one didn't do too well, and I think that's why they stopped doing them, right? But
yeah,
still.
I think they really could make a really hit with it on the Switch.
I hope so. They were so good. Oh my gosh, they were like, the story was amazing.
Yeah, I loved it. There's also a funny story of how Golden Sun ended up in two parts. Take that another day. I'm thinking we do a Golden Sun episode at some point. Then,
I would love that. Yeah, we could put some Golden Sun music in there for sure. The studio who made that, Camelot something.
Mario
they did
Tennis.
The game. What's that?
It's the Mario Tennis studio.
Yeah, exactly. But before Golden Sun, they actually made a game on like Saturn, which is very similar to Golden Sun. It's kind of like Golden Sun is kind of like an improvement of what they started doing back then. It was pretty crazy. This one time, a local rapper actually used the beat of this song to make to rap on, and that was interesting. Like,
did it work? Did it work out, or was it just?
Yeah, it was
weird?
Cool. But I bet nobody knew that it was a Chrono Trigger song other than me, right? Because back then, like, gaming wasn't as popular as now. So that was it was really interesting when I heard that the first time. All right, let me get your song here. Ooh, I might know that one actually.
Yeah, I figure you know that one, but it's it's one of those, like, it's a classic. So this next one then, it's I mean, I for me this was the game that brought me into RPGs. Up to this point, I had mostly played strategy games. And then I got this for Christmas, and I remember it was or maybe it was my birthday. It was like 5 discs for my PC, so 5 CD-ROMs. Then you had to go through all 5 to install it, and then you had played for a couple of chapters, like first chapter on this one, and then it's like, now insert CD 2. You take out the CD and put another while the game's running. What? This is weird.
This is so cool. This is out of this world technology.
And, the music, like the intro music of this, like the original intro music starts out a bit too loud, in my opinion. So I went for the one from the remaster from Beandog Studios. So this is, of course, Baldur's Gate 1. Obviously, Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out in August, so... And, game. But yeah, so you played Baldur's Gate 1 as well, then?
Yeah, I can't like I played it on the hardest difficulty and I managed to go up until the last boss about
Oh
one or
wow.
I think 2 years ago. But the last boss is
Yeah,
impossible. I
I
just have
mean,
to grind like it's crazy.
I played it on normal difficulty, and I think my save is like right before you enter, like after the point of no return. It was like no way to get back.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I did succeed in.
Yeah.
I've never. So I've gotten to the final boss, but I've never actually beaten the final boss of this
Oh my
game.
gosh.
But I
Yeah.
love Baldur's Gate 1. A
Oh,
lot of fond memories of playing it.
it's
Baldur's Gate
so
3
good.
is, I would say, better, but yeah,
Exactly. Oh my gosh, they
and
improve
it's
every
coming out
single
soon.
game. Well, yes, yes. What's the date again, Bjorn?
August 31st was announced on
Man,
State of Play on Thursday. So yeah,
almost there.
I'm excited about that. But yeah, let's listen to Baldur's Gate's main theme from the original,
Let's
although
do
the
that.
enhanced edition.
Yeah, I remember that song. It's so good.
Yeah, you have this, and then comes the horns.
I like the dice rolling in the
Yeah,
background.
the
That's
nice
funny.
little detail.
Oh yeah, that's your style. That's so your
Yeah,
style of music.
this is so my style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the SPD. The Baldur's Gate 3's music is fantastic. I
Oh yeah.
would say though that like this track is so iconic. Um, like to me, the third one is a bit too ominous in its like soundtrack to really beat the first one. This one feels so much more heroic. But yeah, like BD3's music is incredible, and I'm sure like as I play the game as it releases out of AlreadyExists, it will be I will be blown away with it by the end. But so far, the music is not really topping the top. Yeah, a lot of dice rolling to create the perfect characters, but none of this in the background.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's that part that I really like. It's really like heroic, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, Baldur's Gate 1 had this in the character creation. You roll dice for each of the stats, and I mean there were some sort of minimum and maximum values depending on certain things. But I think the best one, like if you got over a 90 of your total roll, the total sum of your stat rolls, that was like incredible. And you could re-roll. You could just keep re-rolling until you got. And you could go. I think the lowest you could get was something like 60, or like 65 or something like. If you were in that range, you would never have a hard time throughout the game from the get go. Whereas if you got like a 90, you had really good base stats. So I remember sitting there and clicking, and then you saw that 92, and then you accidentally clicked again. It's like
Oh yeah, I
no.
remember that. So the thing with Baldur's Gate is that it was super innovative back then. Like it was like I think one of the first ARPG with these type of
Yeah,
graphics and this type of innovation. And so they still borrowed some technology from the old school D&D type of games, but they did so much better things. And now with the third one, the dice rolling is like flawless. I can't believe how good of a job. It feels so much like you're playing a D&D game. It's just
yeah. I did a
amazing.
Baldur's Gate. I did a Baldur's Gate 3 stream on Friday, and I mean, I started out by like the first roll. I think I had two natural ones in the first five rolls. The first five rolls, I didn't have a single success.
Oh my
So like,
gosh.
I mean, slight spoilers for the tutorial area of the first act. And I mean, when you get to Shadowheart, and you can try to break her out of the capsule. I failed that. That's a difficulty 0 roll. The only way you can fail that is by rolling a natural one, and I did,
Oh my
which
god.
means you can't get her out. She's stuck in there. You just have to leave.
So
Which
are you
means
like
that when the
soft blocked or how does it work?
no, yeah, it's like yeah, you can't open it. There's no way to open it. You just walk away. And so I walk away, and then I come, and I crash the ship, and I go, expecting to find her lying there on the ground as usual, and she's not there. I was like, did she
What?
die on the ship?
So you don't get that character at all?
No,
What?
I think you might get her later. Like I did run across her later down. Like I think
Okay.
but that's like a completely different path I didn't know existed just because I failed a a roll that should be impossible to fail. Like it's one of the and then you roll a dice and you succeed, then you get a good. No, I didn't. So yeah, that was, and I also failed. Like rolled a natural one on trying to get the like that initial like the walking brain out. So like nope, can't do. I won't have it. So
And
it was
then,
just me and the entire tutorial. I was like, this is not how it's supposed to be.
and then you roll like nat 20s on like the stupidest thing, right? You roll on
Yes,
nat
I
20
did
on
get one nat 20, and it was
investigation.
like something. I think it was like some haggling or something.
Yeah,
Completely pointless.
Oh my god, it's so
yeah.
fun.
I
I
failed
need to
so
get
many.
back into it. Yeah.
Yeah. We should definitely play that too. We have a lot of games to play together.
Oh my gosh, I
yeah.
agree.
But
Cool.
let's go for, jump over then to Chili Hunter's suggestion.
Yeah.
And this is one that I've been listening to. So like I've heard this so many times. It's
That
in
is
my
cool.
playlist.
My you know, I you know, like people know me for listening a lot of video game music, right? But it's funny because I don't often listen to like the popular one, like Elder Scrolls and God of War and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's nice because you know I get to experience these because I don't.
So you haven't heard this?
Well, I played Mass Effect 2, but I don't know if I heard. You know,
Did you finish the game? Because this is right towards the end.
I've only made it to like not far, not like
okay.
maybe
Yeah. So then you haven't heard this one. Because this plays at the very end, like towards the end. And this is like, let's do the Hail Mary. And then, like, I mean, small chance of success, almost certain death. Let's do this. And then this song hits, and it's good.
Is it? I did finish the first one. Is it in the first one?
No, this is original composition for the second one.
Ooh, interesting. All right, let's give it a listen now.
And honestly, the second best song of Mass Effect 2, in my opinion.
The
best one being when you get Normandy back, but.
Will Chili Hunter agree with you on that, though? We'll see.
I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is Chili Hunter's favorite.
Yeah. All right, let's give it a try. This reminds me of another song that I know. That is cool.
It's ominous and heroic at the same time.
It reminds me of Risk of Rain 2 for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah, I can say. I mean, it's like falls in that category of like
progressive,
really cool sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Normandy was one of my favorites, and I mean, we agree that it's both like, but I'm guessing Chili Hunter that this is your favorite. And if so, then we have different favorites, but we really appreciate the other one's favorites.
Oh, it's good. It's epic. I love it. Nice. So, in your opinion, Bjorn, do you think that they'll continue the series after Andromeda?
Yeah. No, I think the Legendary Edition did so well.
Okay.
That I think, because like something I've heard is like in general, whenever you do a studio does a remaster of something old, it's usually to see like is this Chili Hunter's this. So this is Chili Hunter's favorite, which means then that this is very much, we have different favorites, but we like my second favorite is your favorite then. No, but so what a lot of studios apparently do, and I heard this from they was listening when I think it was Mike Bittler who spilled the beans on it. That most, like 90% of the times when you see a remaster, it's the studio trying to see like, is there still an audience for this old gem, or is it just do we have some hardcore fans that really want a new one, or is there actually a market for it? And then it can like the remaster release, and if it does well, and not just like if the old fans still agree that yes this works, but also like new people play it and really like it, then it's like we can probably make another one and it could be a success. So like this is a test. So like the Legendary Edition I think did kind of well. So I'm guessing that was to test the waters and see like is there still a market? Did we ruin it with Andromeda, or do we still have a market for another Mass Effect? And so I think we might get another one.
Just don't rush it this time, you know. Like
it's
Andromeda could have been so good, right? It's just they had to cut some corners, and that's why it didn't do well. But
and like the lore and world building of Mass Effect is amazing. Like I want a TV show or a movie set in this universe, and like I want to have a movie franchise with like I mean, tell the story of how they found the Mass Effect, why the name exists, and tell the story of like how Shepard became who he is when the game starts. Don't take the game story tale that, because they are already as they are. But like there's stories to tell in 4, and I'm sure there's to do after 4, and like sidelines as well. So yeah, I would definitely want a Mass Effect cinematic universe to go with a new game.
If we do, we'll have like a canon storyline, right? Because Shepard has different kind of stories depending on where he grew up and all of that.
That is true. That is true.
Do the first game, but
you could do at least like how did humanity find that thing on Mars, and like what happened. That could be a really cool storyline, like tech advancement and then meeting all the aliens, first contact with the Asari, and then I would love that. So the way this song just grows and grows and grows, like it can't grow anymore. Oh no, it did.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of chill here. It's really good. I love it.
Like this is the like charge.
Yeah.
But nice. The space version of the Rohirrim charge, like music wise.
Nice. So Mass Effect now, there's a lot of games like that. But when the first game came out, it was so revolutionary, right? Like that never happened before. The only thing we had similar to that was KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, and it's not even close to being the same. And it's just from the same company too, so
yeah. And also, honestly, Baldur's Gate 1 as well.
Yeah, which is
also same studio.
Different. Yeah, true. But no, it was really innovative back then.
I agree. Definitely was.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's probably like the best song that we showed today, to be honest.
Yeah, but, it's so good. So yeah, I mean, any other suggestions in chat? We probably have time for one more.
Yeah, for sure. David or Jem.
Yeah.
SPG.
I mean, we could always do Normandy Reborn because that's always a guaranteed goosebumps. But
we can just talk about music in general because we do like
Rider of the Rohirrim in Space. Lol. Yes. It very much is like in a sense, both like in terms of plot, but also like music wise. It reminded me of it's like the space version of it. I really love that song, and so yeah, it's also funny because you mentioned before that the composer for Chrono Trigger had to like he overworked himself. And I remember hearing in I think Austin Winter told this. I heard Austin Winter tell this story I think 2 times in Play What It Is, and then one time about how he basically at one point he was commissioned to do some music for something, and then he basically just like it was a set hour of music, and then he just decided to I feel this game needs a bit more. I'll write some extra music because I feel it needs it. And I'll just throw that in there. I mean, no one will notice. And then the accountants called up like we had commissioned you to write like I don't know, it was like 60 minutes of music. Here's 90 minutes here. Like what's what's happening here? So I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And they were like, no, it's fine. We just wanted to know so we can bill you accordingly. And I was like, no, but I mean, I was gonna give you that. I mean, I just did that because I wanted to.
It's crazy. Wow.
So, and apparently that's kind of common in the composing world. But then also a lot of contracts are like, no, but you like we will pay you either it can be like we will pay you for this much period. That's what we will pay you this much per minute, and we have this set budget. So if you go over, and this was the case in this scenario, like if he went over, then they would have to pay more than they had budgeted for.
Yes.
And he was like, no, you don't have to. And I'm like, no, we have to legally, and we want to, of course, as well. But I mean,
they could just
he was like super scared to. Yeah, he was like, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's a lot more, it's contracts and a lot more politics. And
it's a lot of different contracts as well. I've heard like a lot. It's very rare to have.
Yeah, it really sucks for them because, so they have to do a certain amount of music. If it's refused, they have to recompose it because they have to approve it to be part of the soundtrack, and so if they refuse it, they have to rework it, and then if the contract includes like a soundtrack, like a CD soundtrack, or then they have to master
special rights for that. And a lot of these games also have like something to remember about video music. I mean, we listen to like when we listen to on this show, we listen to like the soundtrack version from the soundtrack album. So most of the
Yeah,
time,
it's
and I
different,
mean
right?
those are different because in games, especially these days, video music is very much interactive. It's like you build
Yes,
different stems, and then you
exactly.
can have like oh if the game states like if you have this much health, then this instrument kicks in.
Yes, exactly.
And there are some really cool things going on. I mean, I did take some looks at some a software called Elias software.
Mhm.
I mean, I came across it because an old colleague started working there. And it's like they are. It's basically a tool that like it reads like this. The game engine will send like event states like
Yeah,
this is happening. And it can be and like you could build anything into those event states. It could be like I'm swinging my weapon, but it could also be like my health is low, or this I'm I stepped in water, or you can do anything.
yeah,
Like the character's now underwater, so like oh, then we go into with some underwater themes into, and you can add and then all of these, like you have to have stinger transitions for all of these instruments, and you can add how many layers you want. And, like it's super interactive, and I mean a lot of video composing these days is all, and especially in the implementation, is a lot of code. There's a lot of coding going on there.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not just like I wrote this piece, it's playing this in this part of the game. Like that doesn't happen
Yeah.
anymore for
If
most
they
games.
have like a good relation, if they don't, sometimes they just distribute the music and they deal with it. But now, yeah, like the composer have to talk a lot with these programmers so they understand how to get the music in the game and how to make it work properly and
Yeah,
all of that. I've learned a lot about it with the Mick Gordon situation with Doom Eternal. There was a lot of so yeah, Mick Gordon is not going to make any Doom music anymore for them, but there
I
was
know.
like a lot yeah, there was a lot of issues happening there. Like he only had to write a certain amount of songs. A lot of songs were refused, but then the end product they decided to include them, like, and it wasn't in the contract, so you like I think they
Yeah, I remember there was
the amount
controversy about it.
songs, yeah, that he should have. And then he had to make a CD soundtrack. It was announced, but it wasn't in his contract either. So that he had to like crunch some time to like master that. It's that's such a messy story. It's like he wrote the whole story, and it's a really long paragraph and really interesting. Like he could make a book out of it, but
Yeah.
it's the most interesting story about contracts and music that I've read about. So yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely
know for
something
sure.
to
And
to
also,
look into.
I always wonder, like, if you're into video music and you want to know more about the making of it, like Austin Wintory's YouTube channel is like it's a gold mine of information because not only does he do a lot of like stuff about his own compositions, like showing behind the scenes of how he composed a certain track or doing like track commentary, he also does a lot of like interviews with other composers.
Hmm,
And also
cool.
and also audio designers and voice actors and a lot of different stuff. Like he has, and I think he does this as part of so like is it Game Maker's Toolkit? No, something like there's something like there's a um some like award or like um yeah some sort of like award ceremony thing they or event within the game within the game industry. Um they have a like a podcast thing where they basically have like an expert in a field who interviews another expert in the field, and then they publish that. And he does it for all of their music and sound design and also
Oh
voice
wow.
acting. So whenever they do, and it's like it's a few times a year thing, so it's not like that often. But there's at this point there's several of them. So like he's been done interviews with. And if anyone like, I think he's done one with Bear McCreary. He's done one with
Oh wow.
like he's interviewed like the guy who made music for Cyberpunk, the audio designer I think is for It Takes Two. So like all of these kind of people, they sit down and talk for like an hour or two about something as part of this
Wow,
event
he's
thing.
lucky to
It's
be
really
able
cool.
to get these big names
Yeah,
to
yeah. I
interview,
mean,
right? Yeah.
he's also a really big name as
Yeah,
himself. I
I
mean,
guess so.
he was
Yeah.
nominated for he was
Yeah.
nominated for for a BAFTA. He's the only like up until this year when they had the first video game new soundtrack category for BAFTA in the BAFTAs. He's the only one who's actually won a BAFTA for a video game album. So
Hmm.
yeah, also Winter's YouTube channel is definitely worth checking out. There's like so many hours of just amazing video music, in depth things behind the scenes.
That's amazing.
I've spent
Um,
many an hour over there.
I need to look that up for sure. Yeah, because I love learning, about people composing and all of that for sure. Um, So yeah, you mentioned that sometimes the soundtrack doesn't sound the same when when it's done in a original soundtrack than in the game. And a funny example is Cuphead. So in Cuphead, you actually have solos happening in the game like randomly. So you never know like which solo you're gonna get when you play the game. And so they did a 4 vinyl soundtrack, which is amazing. It's really cool, very well made. And then they decided to re-release the soundtrack in 2 vinyl, but it sounds completely different because they decided to put different kind of solos in some of these songs. So it's very cool, to see these type of
That's
things
perfect.
happening. Yeah, in the soundtracks.
But then, have you had time to check out what's it called? Hi-Fi Rush.
No, oh man, but yes, I want
Because that
to.
feels like,
It's
I mean, first of all, it feels like a game for you,
yeah,
designed for you specifically, but also
yeah. It came
like
out
the way
like
everything
this.
moves to the beat in that
Yeah,
game.
the original soundtrack came out like this week or last week, and
Oh,
I
really?
really wanted to listen
I
to
gotta
it.
listen to it. Yeah.
And but when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I want to listen to Sunset Overdrive soundtrack before because it has like the same kind of vibe. And I decided to listen to Sunset Overdrive, and then I didn't took the time to listen to Hi-Fi Rush yet, but I really want to for
Yeah,
sure.
and I mean, you should also. I think you should play the game. I think it's really a game that screams you.
Yes, it's in
Um,
my library. I've downloaded it already. I just want to have like a good like I want to feel the need to want to play the game before playing because it's the type of game that I'm really going to enjoy. I just want to have like the moment where I feel like it's time to start this game. You know what I mean? Like it's in the backlog, and I really want to play it at some point for sure. It's definitely my type of game.
yeah, you should.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
So
great music to listen to today. And do you have what do you have going on in the next couple of days and weeks?
so
Anything you want to bring people to?
I have my usual stuff. So right now I am partnered up with Boosteroid and GeForce Now. So I'll be doing some of these streams. I have Monday night I have Fall Guys night. So we're playing in the community with Fall Guys. And then Tuesday night is Dark Tide night. So we're playing Dark Tide, composed by Jesper Kid, which is amazing. And
Yeah,
and then I'll be
he's
doing some
good.
speed runs from a demo that just came out, Windswept, and I'm really enjoying that. So I'll be working on that, and then I have my interviews on Friday with
Yeah.
iTie, as of course as usual. What about you, Bjorn? What do you have planned up?
I mean, I have the one more stream of yeah, as part of Gaming for Mental Health. That's today.
The best one.
So yeah, so 4 hours of Hogwarts Legacy starting at
Nice.
8 p.m. Central European time. And I mean, I'm running a poll over at the Tiltify donation link. So if you want to pick the house I'm in, just make a donation and like pick the house when you make the donation, and the house with the most donated money to it wins, and that's what I'm gonna pick. So I've played it so up until like the second class, but I'm gonna just start over for the stream, and then we're gonna go for like 4 hours straight, and
Awesome.
have a really good fun time. And I think and I mean I've only played like I said like 2 hours before, and it's like the music is perfect.
Really
Yeah,
interesting. I
it
haven't had a
feels just like
chance.
the music on them. Like it could, if someone had said no, this is just music from the movies, I would have totally said like yeah, sure. But no, there's like it's some original compositions, and everything like from the like when you get a achievement, you get a small like musical composition though that's like feels so Harry Potter. So yeah, I'm loving the audioscape of that game so far at least.
That
I'm
is so
loving it to
cool.
be honest, but that specifically. And other than that, I mean, as soon as Game of Mental Health is wrapped up, I'm gonna sit down and draw all of the winners for the giveaways, which will probably take a day or two, because
Yes.
we have like 80 giveaways that we're gonna draw winners for. And then I'm going to get working on some review of Shadow PC.
Shadow. Interesting.
Yeah, so I've
Okay.
been given access to Shadow for 3 months to try it out. So I'm gonna utilize that as best as I can and make a review out of that, and then as well then move on to as well as making content on the various games that I've been meaning to play, and
Nice.
hopefully play a lot of. I want to try to find some time to stream Baldur's Gate 3 every now and then as well. So
Ah, yes.
so
If you
so much fun.
If you like, yeah, just hit me up. I might want to play with you because I love
Yeah, it would be really fun to do.
technologies, and I want to learn more about the experts like you and SPG. So
Like, I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I mean,
yeah,
SPG is an expert because he's played like
yeah,
500 hours.
SPG
I've played
is the
like
master.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've played. I mean, I've played like 10 hours, but
yeah,
I at the same time I do a lot of pen and paper role playing games.
yeah.
Like with some
Okay,
friends. We have a group who meet up regularly and play, and like it. So I have the like I know my way around those, and I can extrapolate that out to the game quite well.
yeah,
It's
that's what I want to learn. Yeah, because I'm just a typical JRPG guy, right? So it's gonna be
yeah,
it'd be cool
this
to
is a
learn from
completely
you
different
guys.
world.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not just press X to attack. There, it's
No, here it's like
yeah,
you gotta have a strategy and like decide.
exactly.
But if I pick this up and throw it at him, then he falls over into this pit of like goo, and I can
Yeah,
set that aflame with a spell, and then yeah, it's
so cool.
so fun. So guys,
Right.
thank you so much for joining us, and I'll be back in, let's see, 4 p.m. now, so in 4 hours with some Hogwarts Legacy, and we will see you all. So sometime next month for another show.
Yeah, definitely. And
Looking forward
keep a
to it.
lookout. We'll have another permanent guest with us next time. So
Yeah,
keep a lookout for that.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Then
All right.
thank you so much, and see you later.